Good morning. Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. Together, we are working to connect women in leadership and business, build relationships, empowering each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Today's guest really needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. She's absolutely an amazing person, and we are so glad to have her with us as part of our team now. She is also an amazing mom and friend that has really done just about everything. She is the friend you're blessed to have in your corner and will fight for you if you need her to. Momming school blogger and empowerment team specialist, Amanda Holler. Amanda, it's so nice to have you as a guest. Right? You've been
Thank you.
Filling in for
That
us.
was such a sweet introduction.
Aw, does it make you blush? You're like, aw.
I know, I probably am. Like, don't mess up my contouring. Or at least my feeble attempt at it.
Right. So Amanda's been filling in for us for the last week while Heather and I have kind of taken turns being sick. But she is a blogger. Her blog, Momming School, is pretty awesome. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about that. So Amanda, tell us about your blog.
So I started this blog fairly recently. I started it this last fall, so the fall of 2021. And I always giggle whenever I say the fall of 2021, because when I say that, I'm referring to this season. However, it feels like the last 2 years have been a real fall is in the adjective. And if you've listened to past podcasts, you've heard me say, it's not that I don't like to take direction from people or that I can't. I just don't always like being told what to do. And I don't always enjoy people telling me what my worth is monetarily. So I was having a struggle with going to different places of employment and having like the weirdest scenarios you could imagine happen. I was at a well-known brick and mortar store and found out the manager had stolen my paycheck. I had huge conflicting things where it would be like one day your schedule is this and the next day it's completely changed. So you show up to work and you're not supposed to be there. But yet I have a screenshot on my phone that says I am supposed to be there, and it kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing. And when Charlie says, I've done a lot of things, I have done a lot of things. I've done a lot of MLM in my day, and it's great for people. And I highly encourage, if you want to try it, to go ahead and try it. I did it. I tried it. And honestly, for me, it was frustrating because I could never get quite to where I wanted to be. And I felt like I worked my butt off. I'm trying to censor my vocabulary. I'm the blunt friend, as Charlie always says. Because it was like, I felt like no matter how hard I tried, no matter how much time on social media I spent, no matter how much time I did this or that, I just didn't move up. So my commission never went up and I just stayed stagnant. And I am not someone who stays stagnant for very long before I go batshit crazy. So I was talking to my brother-in-law and I was like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is so annoying, but I can't just be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's not my identity. I am a stay-at-home mom and I am a housewife, but that's not all I am. Right. And so he's like, you know what? He says, you need a blog. And I'm like, instantly my head goes to like Pinterest perfect, like, you know what I mean? The white and black farmhouse, skinny Barbie makeup. I'm like, that is not me, dude. I hunt, I fish, my hands get dirty, I garden, I do girly things too, but that's just not me. And he's like, no, you don't get what I'm saying. And so he explained it to me and I said, you know what? I do need a blog. And he says, Amanda, people are tired of fake. People are tired of everything being perfect and holding these standards for people. He goes, he goes, I don't mean to be insulting, but you're not perfect. And I'm like, well, no, of course I'm not, And so he went ahead and he showed me how to use affiliate marketing and got me signed up with Wealthy Affiliate. And I've been writing articles ever since. And I started it all with what I was doing in the moment. And so that's the season that I'm still in. And I feel like I'm going to continue to be in, which is the season of decluttering. And so that's kind of been my jam lately.
Nice. Yeah. And you've been writing a lot of these, several of these articles about decluttering and cleaning things up and how that makes you feel and how freeing that is to let go of things, right? Okay. And we talk a lot about letting go of things that are no longer serving you, including people, right? I saw a quote, what was it yesterday? Things and people that are holding you back, right? Being able to let go of things and people that are holding you back. And I was like, things and people. I think that is an important thing for you guys to know, is that it's okay to let go of people.
Something that's come up a lot too is that when you're on social media, you get to choose who you're seeing. And I think people don't realize that sometimes. They just let, these people that they think are their friends or what, control where their mindset is. So
for sure.
If you can, delete people, you can unfollow people, and then they, pop out of your feed. So, my experience on social media is uniquely mine because I've weeded out a lot of that, right? And so if it comes up, then, then I can address that, but it doesn't happen.
You get to choose what you see, hear, and
allow into your space, right?
Yes, exactly.
Which is part of what you've been doing, Amanda, with decluttering.
Because decluttering isn't just your house. Decluttering is decluttering your car. It's your social life. It's your social media. It's your work environment. I can think of several, places, even as a cashier. Go stand in a cashier spot for a day and you're like, okay, they need all the things. I guarantee you almost half that stuff doesn't even have to be there.
Right.
Especially now, because out here in Washington, I don't know where everybody's listening from, but if you're out here in the Washington area, we have to bring our own bags. So most stores, you have to purchase a bag. And I wouldn't be surprised if sooner or later the bags are just gone and you can't purchase a bag,
Right. And then you go going through the grocery store like this with your arms all like full of groceries, and you're like, one more thing.
Right. I get the concept behind the whole bring your own bag. And I think that it's a great idea, but I don't want to have to pay for bags to take home the stuff I just bought from your store. It drives me crazy, but that's a personal thing. But and I would say too, a lot of people, especially people that are newer to social media, they don't know that if you click that button that says unfollow, the other people don't even know. You're still on their, you're still on their friends list, and they can still see you. And if you look them up, you can see them. It's just they're not going to show up on your newsfeed. And I had to do that. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because during the time of the other C word, as I call it, all we read about was what we couldn't do, where we couldn't go, who we couldn't see, what we had to wear, what we weren't allowed to wear. What did you have to do to be able to go to the store? And we're still hearing that to a point here in the beginning of 2022. But I feel like it's not as prevalent, but maybe I feel that it's not as prevalent because I can't tell you how many news stations I unfollowed and how many people that were similar to what I was going into and got sucked into this like doom and gloom and what are we going to do and like raise, do all these things. And it was putting me in a really nasty spot. I was not a nice person to be around, that's for sure. And then once I, made sure that I wasn't surrounding myself with that, things got a lot easier. And that's something too that put me into a better mindset and was like, okay, if I don't like the way things are, I have to be the one to change them. And so along with that and the fact that we decided that we wanted to try to move back to my home state of Montana, the decluttering train began.
Right. And it's, I think it's really important to do like an annual or semi-annual decluttering. And in my household, we do a big decluttering before Christmas and also again in the spring before my kids' birthdays. And that allows them to clear space, get rid of some things that they no longer want. They can donate them. They can, give them away, whatever. And, they're going to get more stuff come Christmas or their birthdays from grandparents or whatever.
Right.
Because that's what they do. Right. So I think it's a really important practice. And then of course, if you're getting ready to move or downsize or whatever that looks like for you, decluttering so that you don't have to move as much stuff makes your life so much easier.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is I think I want to clarify something really quick. And I know that you want to go on to like another section of our segment, but I think it's really important too that people understand what clutter even is. Because a lot of times people think decluttering is just cleaning your house, and it's not.
Right.
So in the first blog post that I ever made back at the beginning of fall, I listed a few reasons. And if you are somebody who panics at the thought of company coming over, or if you are somebody who just feels like no matter how old the kids get, the house is always a hot mess, which I can attest, I have been that person on both of those questions. And to a degree, I still am that person on those questions. What it is you have too much stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, you have too much stuff. And I can almost guarantee you that every single person listening to this podcast or watching this live right now or watching on YouTube, you have too much shit. There, I said it. All right. You need to get rid of it. And I'm telling you right now, what the clutter is it's the stuff that either gets put on top of the fridge, it gets magneted to the fridge, it sits on the counter, it sits in your bedroom, it's on a shelf, especially flat surfaces. I didn't have a kitchen table for a while because it just collects crap. I mean, right now you're seeing me close up because I'm telling you, my kitchen table is full of a bunch of crap right now that I'm literally boxing up to take to Goodwill. But it's the stuff that you walk by that has accumulated that you become blind to. It's now become a part of your world. And I feel like sometimes that's how people become hoarders. Like they just don't even see it anymore. Like they know it's there. They actually do see it, but it's not at the forefront of their mind to be like, oh, I should put that where it belongs. And that's when we just have too much stuff. If you open a drawer and it is full, you have too much. Empty out 25%. Just start with 25%. I literally went from a closet smashed full. I mean, couldn't hardly take a shirt out, smashed full of clothes over the course of going through my clothes and being honest with myself on, no, I'm never going to be that size. And if I am, I'm not going to want to wear this anyway because it's going to be outdated and I'm going to want to buy new stuff anyway. It's gone. This is too big. I'm never going to want to be there again. So I don't want to see this and be reminded of how big I was before and make myself feel like crap because of the way I was. It's out. If you can't make a decision on something in 5 seconds, set it aside. if you can make, then why hold on to it, right? If I grab a coffee cup and it has a broken handle, it's broken, it's gone, it's just done. It's a coffee cup, right?
Mhm.
There's several more, I'm sure.
Vegas.
What?
But I bought it in Vegas.
But you
I have a coffee cup that's big like this.
yeah.
When I was in Vegas, I forgot that it was that it was breakable, that I bought something breakable. And so I just had the bag like hanging out on, and it fell and the handle
Oh.
broke off, but it's still like completely usable. So when you say that, I was like, you're calling me out on my Vegas cup.
Oh, you had a broken mug.
Because it goes right along with what we've been talking about this week about
Yeah.
Pranama.
Correct evaluation, like correctly evaluate your things and being honest with yourself. I love that. I like just went right into it. Like,
so do you have pictures of Vegas, Heather?
I do.
Okay, so what would happen if you threw that cup away today? What would change if you threw that cup away today? What would change?
I think that for me, it's the one thing that I bought for myself in Vegas that was for me, and it reminds me every time I use it, even though the trip was rough, it was still a good trip. So I think it kind of empowers me. And I'm more apt to get rid of one of the older cups than that one still. Like, that's how attached to it I am. I'm like,
this is a newer broken cup, is what we're saying.
I only got it in May.
It broke on the way home.
That's so funny. Right? See, and that was something we have. So we're a family of 6, and we had cups that were chipped, and some of them were cups that we'd gotten on like vacations and stuff, and I put them in a black bag, and I told the kids, they're like, what are you putting in there? I'm like, the broken mugs. Well, I want to see. And I said, there's a reason this bag's black. It's so you can't see what's in it. Back off my black bag. It's going away. But I will tell you, not one person has asked where that mug was.
Right.
And I've gone through some of their things, and not one person has asked me, Mom, what happened to the blank? I gotta be careful because they're in the other room. Can you hear me?
Right.
Right.
Don't say what it is.
It's like you never clean your kids' rooms out when they're there, especially when they're little, because then all of a sudden they want to play with all the toys that they haven't touched in 6 months, right?
Right. But it's also okay though to, I think I had a really big misconception though when the kids were littler, and I felt that I had to clean their room for them because they couldn't do it, or they couldn't do it the way I felt was right. And I wish I wouldn't have done that, because I wish I would have taught them better that this is where this goes. This is where this goes, but also being mindful of the way that the 3 of us girls organize is probably very different. Right. And I love, her name is Cass. She's out of Canada, and she has the Clutter Bug. And if you go to my website, mommyschool.com, there's actually a link you can click on, and you can get her book there. And she describes everybody's organization style as a bug. So maybe you're a caterpillar, maybe you're a ladybug. And what it is sometimes people need broad topics. So typically toddlers need broad topics, so like a bin. This is where all my outside toys go. Right. So super, and then it's off the floor. It's in their little bin or in their bucket on the shelf or wherever that goes, and it's fine. Other kids need to have it where it's, this little container has Barbie shoes. This one has Barbie clothes. This one has the Barbies. Maybe all of those things are in one bigger bucket. You know what I mean? So they need things micro organized. So understanding how your kids function with the different types. I wish I would have taught them that versus teaching them that you don't go pick up your room till I lose my mind and scream my bloody face off for you to go put your damn clothes away. You know?
Right, because that doesn't
So that's
get
one thing.
anybody anywhere, right?
Right. Yeah.
No, I just get mad and then the day's done. Because if I'm mad, I guarantee you I'm gonna make damn sure everyone else is mad. But we're working on that.
And that's interesting because my son's struggle with the room cleaning is the change of it. So it's not so much that like the task of it, but the actual act of his room going from the mess to clean is a change, and change is rough, like any change.
Right.
Like, so it's
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
and understanding that like helps me break it down for him. Like, you're going to do this little part, and then you're going to do this little, we had to break it down differently for him to help him learn how. So I know what you mean. Yeah. Because I used to do that too. I used to do like no cleaning because my son would leave every other weekend. And so what would I do while he wasn't there? That's when I cleaned. That's when the house got cleaned, right? So every other weekend I did this deep clean, and you come home and the house was clean, like it's magic, right?
Right.
Didn't see all that work, right? So it's been interesting to teach that piece that I totally didn't realize I missed when he was younger.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, the other thing, I'm going to say this, and then I know we have to move on. I could talk all day. I wish that when my kids were younger, and when I say younger, I'm talking like preschool-ish age. Okay.
2, 3,
I
4.
wish I would have, I wish I would have implemented and stuck to my guns, right? Because this isn't just to them. This is definitely a mom thing where I was like too lazy to even do it. An hour before bed, you're required to have your teeth brushed, you're done with snacks, you're done with the water, get your pajamas on, and let's do, because that usually takes 30 minutes, right? The last 30 minutes that the family, not just the kids, but the whole family does a quick 20-30 minute tidy. Because if we've decluttered our stuff enough to where we don't have an excess of things, you should be able to tidy in 20 minutes or less. So if the kids spend 20 minutes, maybe that's just 5 minutes in their room and putting away all of the Legos. Yes, I understand you're going to play Legos tomorrow and you built this thing and it's beautiful. We can put it over here for now, but the rest of these Legos that you have out have to go be put away. Maybe it's that I finally put my clothes away that have sat on my floor for, I'm not going to share how long.
Right.
Maybe it's dad puts the TV remotes back where the TV remotes go and makes sure that all the coffee cups are out of the living room for mom and sticks them even in the sink, even the dishwasher's right there, but it doesn't matter. You did the thing. Things like that make such a big difference. And I waited too long to instill that almost. It's right now I feel like you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I've been doing like a 5-minute reset, like, because I had a lot of help like right before surgery, cleaning up my house, making it better, and I didn't want it to go backwards, right? I want to keep moving forward in the process, and especially now that I'm healthier. So I'm a nester, so like wherever I sit, I make a pile around me. And so what I try to do now is when I get up, before, like in that transition time, I try to do a less than 5-minute reset. How can I reset the space I'm leaving before I go to the next space? So
that's good.
When I get up in the morning, it's, picking up my water bottle, putting all my dishes away, any wrappers or trash, or because when I sit in bed at night, I'll have my notebooks and stuff, and I'll be putting the sticky notes in here. So I'll have like a pile of like trash and stuff.
Your bed becomes mega desk.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, it was a couple of things. By filling up my bed with crap, my child couldn't sleep with me. 2, I didn't feel like I was sleeping alone. So it's been a huge transition for me that when my son says, "Hey, I want to come and play video games with you last night," that he just had to move like 3 pieces of clean clothes that didn't make it into the dresser. I was like, I have come a long ways with that. But yes, it does become mega desk.
Yeah, and
That's funny.
it comes back to habit and practice, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just keep working, like keep working on it. And now, I mean, I don't even think about filling up that space with stuff, and just working on it. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I had to acknowledge that my kid isn't trying to sleep with me anymore. It's okay that I sleep alone. Like I have my dog.
Mhm.
Just, dealing with those little things to help, right?
For sure. And
But
speaking of habit and practice, today's meditation, you guys, we are on day 23 of meditations from the mat. Take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can close your eyes, but if you are driving, please keep them open.
both feet on the ground or your legs up in your lap crossed. Either way is fine. Just pick one.
When the practitioner is firmly established in the practice of the truth, his words become so potent that whatever he says comes to realization. It's from the Yoga Sutras. The first yama, ahimsa, concerns love, and the second, satya, concerns truth. Satya gives us our first experience of a paradox in yoga. We begin the practice of satya with considerable will and attention as we work hard to speak the truth and to live the truth. Every conversation, every mundane activity invites our scrutiny. The successful application of will and attention actually strips us of our need for both. Initially, we experience satya as having to do with concrete events and words. Either we kept a commitment or we did not. Either we spoke truthfully or we did not. Little by little, we notice and then drop our old habits of embellishment, obfuscation, minimization, self aggrandizement, omission, rationalization, and exaggeration. The process calls on all our powers of self control. We bring our will to bear on the practice of being truthful in all things. At first, then, satya is practiced from the outside in. Eventually, however, we become fully established in the practice of the truth. So much so that we begin to live satya from the inside out. As the layers of falsehood fall away and intimacy develops with our own truth. Ultimately, our truth becomes all there is. Truth becomes our essence and our reality and our deepest desire and the air that we breathe. Being honest, being truthful, being real, right? Not being fake.
So the whole time I'm like over here doing this, like, yep, okay, yep, and I say we because I'm a part of this amazing group of women now. But in past podcasts, pre Amanda, instead of BC, it's AD or AH, I mean, or Amanda Haller. You gals had talked about how it's so crazy how these, I mean, you're literally just going chapter by chapter in this book.
Mhm.
But with each guest that comes on, it's like divine intervention has stepped in and the universe has been like, yep, this is what they need to hear. This is what needs to be said. This goes right with what you're going to talk about, Realizing myself that my husband was correct. He's going to listen to this because he informed me yesterday that he subscribed to the YouTube channel, which I wasn't super okay with because it's weird to have him watch me do this. But having myself accept the fact that he was correct, that I had really truly become lazy and incomplacent with keeping our house a home and not a trash hole was really hard for me, because I am somebody who feels like I need to be in control of what's going on. And I really hope he listens to this, because this is public. And the fact that I finally admitted that I had to change that and start going through our stuff was a big deal. Because if I do something, I'm going to do it, and I don't try to half-ass things. And that's just my personality type. But understanding that when our house was a mess, he already had an unfun day at work, excuse me, because he works in Seattle. So he has a 2-hour drive to work, works in the city, which is the complete opposite of our personality. And then he has a 2-hour drive home in traffic. And then he comes home, and he's very good about leaving work at work and not bringing it home. However, when he comes home and he's annoyed with whatever and leaves it there, but walks in the door and it looks like Hurricane Heller family came through, no, he's not going to be in a great mood. No, we're not going to want to hang out together.
Right.
Everything's a hot mess. There's no peace. There's nowhere to retreat to regain your thoughts. The bedroom was a mess. The living room was a mess. The kitchen was a mess. Hell, the bathroom was even a mess, and we've only got one. So when I realized that if I changed those things, then we were better. Once I realized what the truth was and that he was right, I was able to make it better.
Which
Yeah,
leads
is that
us right
correct?
into our quote of the week this week.
The correct evaluation of things helps us through the process. And I've done that through my health journey also. Like the process of making my health a priority and seeing what it is I'm doing that can actually hinder my health. It's the same kind of thing. And I love that you are embracing the idea that we don't own the knowledge, that we need to share it. Right? Like, this is things that we're learning. This isn't something that we own to keep to ourselves, that we are led to share these things with people. And so that's how I work with my health journey, right? If I'm not making it a priority and I'm not focused on sharing that information with other people, then it kind of slips off of the priority schedule, right? Like, I could just stay this way and be fine, right? But eventually I'm going to have more health troubles.
Right.
So I need to keep going. So so part of me keep going is I love the Let's Talk About It group. And on Fridays, Carolyn Schneider is over there talking about different ingredients and helping us. This week she's talking about ashwagandha, and I thought what was really cool was that I didn't know that was actually a Sanskrit word, and I can't say it. I tried to listen to it a few times to see if I could say it, but at least I'm trying, right? And I thought it was really cool that in Sanskrit it means smells like horse, because the root itself, when you pull it up, smells really bad, apparently. So I thought that was funny. So if you want to go over there, let us know. We'll get you over there. But the quote of the week is, lead me from untruth to truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality.
3
I love that.
gurus stop me.
Thank you.
Is the quotas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
you're doing a water challenge this week, aren't you?
Yeah, next Monday we're starting a hydration challenge. So if you want any information about that, let us know. We're just focusing on taking in the amount of water our body needs to help us move on to our next level of health goals. And sometimes that just is not feeling tired, because a lack of even a slight amount of dehydration in your body makes you really fatigued. So
Yeah. It's got a really big effect on the body, even if you're just a little bit dehydrated, right?
Yeah. So, up and coming events. If you are local on Sunday, there is going to be a luminary walk. It is being put on at the Holler Splash Pad in Arlington. The event is sponsored by Arlington, Washington Pride, and you can join them on Sunday, the 29th. They'll have supplies to design your own luminary, and then they're going to take a short walk down the Centennial Trail. So it seems really like a really nice outdoor public activity, like something we could socially distance, but still be out and be part of the community and keep our germs to ourselves, but still be a part of the community, right? Except for it might do the S word. So it might be really cold. So bundle up and go have some fun.
You can also catch our live podcast at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. And coming soon is a Mindset Mondays at lunchtime from 11 to 12:30-ish Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you're looking forward to that and tuning in, because you can join the conversation right here with us. And then the last thing we would like you to do today is to join our email list. So head over to our links, join our email list, and we have a newsletter coming out. We are going to be emailing out to you guys. So
if you want to
go
know
ahead and
what
do that.
some behind the scene details from this last month and know what's coming up in the future months, we have a fully booked out month for you with 3 podcasts a week for the whole month of February. So if you would like some details on what's coming up, that will be in the newsletter. So to get to that, you just go to the link, subscribe, and we'll add you in. Drop your email address if you just want to do that. We'll get you in there. We'll get you over there. No worries.
Yep. And then our cause of the quarter is Now Networking. If you want to help women entrepreneurs, support up and coming women entrepreneurs, head over to Now Networking. Their links are also in the comments, and give them some support. And we finish up the quarter March 31st with a gala. I'm really excited and looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining us today and for becoming part of the team.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
And thank you to our listeners. We are looking forward to continuing to connect and build relationships with more community leaders.
Yes, that is you. If you are watching, you are a woman in leadership. We look forward to you joining our table. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.